I'll start with you on this now that we're talking about corruption in the devolved units. How bad is the situation in the counties? How many governors are you currently investigating?
You know how bad is relative, but corruption is really bad in the country. That's where we start.
Yeah.
And then it goes down to the counties. And as some people have said, it seems like what we did was to devolve corruption. So we, unfortunately, are pursuing quite a number of governors. At the moment, 9 governors are under scrutiny, some at different levels of their cases, which is unfortunate if you consider that we have only 47 counties. 9 out of 47 is a very high percentage. It's a very high percentage. And not just governors. It goes all the way down to other staff of the county. We have, say, for example, in Nairobi, we had this county official, a very junior official, who we were pursuing for 500 million. How do you explain that, in Elachi's county?
Former speaker.
So it is. Let me say it is bad. Just this last week, we arrested 6 officials of Busia County over a 1.4 billion case. It is very pervasive across the counties. Counties are actually what are keeping us busy right now as a commission.
Yeah.
May I add that at a very personal and individual level, I've been surprised that some of the counties that are worst hit by corruption are the counties that were considered marginalized. They are given all kinds of privileges to try and bring these counties up. But the leaders in those counties are simply siphoning that money and bringing it back to Nairobi to buy apartments, to start businesses, and so on. So one would have imagined that the individuals providing leadership in these counties would have been working hard to ensure that these counties are lifted up to the levels of the rest of the country, because that's what they had been crying for all along. We have been marginalized for many years and so on. And the Constitution makes several provisions to help and uplift the living standards of these counties. Unfortunately, the leadership in most of these counties are busy taking that money for themselves.
Yeah.
So we still find issues of water, big issues of roads, and so on and so forth. We should not be there with the kind of monies that are being dealt by these formerly marginalized, as it were, counties.
Yeah. What is the system that you've seen in the counties? Is it that we have a strong man's syndrome whereby it's easy to steal because it's one person who controls everything? And what is that chain looking like? Is it procurement flaws, and then is that money kept in cash? Do they buy items? How does that chain look like?
Across the counties, there are several things that we observe. First of all, is a determination to steal. That's the approach. It is like the leadership of the counties go into the counties with one agenda: to steal. So after that, now they look for ways of doing it. And so it is quite diverse across the counties. You find irregular procurement systems where a lot of procurement is done outside of the IFMIs, the same with employment, using junior staff to siphon out monies, false claims of activities that have not taken place. We were investigating one county where they the governor had got over 600 million out of claims. And you find that this money goes to junior officers who are supposed to have attended a seminar here and a seminar there, and they're given impressed. But when you go to find out this hotel, it doesn't exist. And if it exists, they don't know that such people ever came to their hotel. But the money has been paid out. But these people now, when you interview the junior officers, you find that you are given 100,000, you're given 50,000, some people 200,000 as your reimbursement. And you go bank it, but immediately somebody is waiting for you to withdraw it in cash, and they take it to the relevant persons. So tendering is a big one. That you find that individuals create companies that then do business with the counties, and they inflate prices. That's why the procurement system, we hope, will help. But as somebody has said earlier, a system is as good as the people who run it. But it makes it a little more difficult for the people who want to circumvent the system. So the list of the things that people are doing in the counties is long and diverse. Yeah.
There was an attempt at some point to ban cash transactions. Would that have helped in any way? Because you seem to be saying that a lot of it is in cash transactions. So money is given to someone in their account, but then they're asked to bring it back, which then brings an issue when it comes to evidence.
Yes. You see, even first it is the attitude. You know, the human being is a very interesting being because we have creativity. So if you will be paid or paid this money through a digital system, but it is not your money. It is going to come to me. So the money goes to your bank account through the digital system.
Yeah.
But then it is you immediately withdraw it in cash and bring it to me. Now, there is no way of, it is your word that I gave it to Oginde. And I can say, no, I never met with Trevor anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's talking about. Because cash is very difficult to trace.
Yeah.
So that is part of the problem. So the digital systems indeed will curb quite a lot of the corruption. But like I said earlier, it is not necessarily the silver bullet.
Okay.
The systems can be made to crash.
Yeah.
They can be down for a very long time. And meanwhile, in that darkness, a lot of monkey business is taking place. Okay.
And Elachi, you've been a senator before, and thanks for making time. What needs to be done to remedy this issue of corruption? As a senator, what did you see, and what is the issue here? Because we have quite a number of laws dealing with this.
Well, thank you, Trevor. And just to start by saying that it is for all of us the biggest challenge we face is trust. Trust. And the day we have trust, we will trust the systems we put in place. And then I'll go to what Bishop has just said, attitude. Because even if you do what, it is for this Kenyan, Trevor, to agree to do the right thing. The system will be there, everything. But it's this Kenyan. What does this Kenyan want for his country, our country? It's so critical. So when I was in the Senate, as you have said, we had the best team of senators at the first Senate or the second Senate when we started with the new constitution. So we had Anyang' Nyong'o, we had everyone who was a scholar and who understood why the constitution was supposed to be there and who decided the constitution how it is today. And they were good enough because they focused on the foundations. And we had emeritus also, Amos Wako, who brought in very good legal frameworks that would help now to push the counties. Now, when I became Speaker I flopped. I told myself, we are done with devolution. It will be so difficult to move this thing. Why? Every Kenyan moved from the national government, knew the systems are weak at the county level, and it is easier to make wealth there. And you'd wonder, why are you leaving work at the national government? You want to work at the county? They are not going to work. They have gone to make wealth. And if you want to focus and ask yourself, go and now look at anyone who started the county government in 2013 and ask that staff to bring their assets. Well, don't even ask. You'll get into some county and you'll be told, oh, that is the hotel of so-and-so. Oh, that's a building of so-and-so. Now go and look, how many years has he worked? 10 years, 4 years, 7 years. He has wealth. Then everyone now who comes, even with the next government that comes in, they will want to make the same wealth. And that is the challenge we face, even in Nairobi. In fact, in Nairobi, we have never scratched the surface, to be very honest, because the deeper the team was there then is still there. You will find people in Nairobi, you know, very small things can make you wealthy. Not these big things. No. In Nairobi, I just need a toilet, I'll be wealthy. And I will not pay tax. And a Kenyan will complain, but in the evening, he's about to go into a Lexus. And he has been complaining the whole day, just going round. He has some funny tents in town. He collects 2,000. He pays you the commission. There's another one with a loader. You look at boys running all over, you think they are their staff. No, it's a commission. They will be paid. So you just do work, and then in the evening you pay a young man some commission. You yourself, you have 100,000 going home. Another in this town. And when you go and touch, you are on fire. Everyone will hit on you. So in Nairobi, if you are a smart person and you want to change Nairobi, don't complain. Don't start antagonizing people. Bring in the system and let the system start working. If you feel this is the one that is really deep, just change it. But don't complain and don't start antagonizing, because you will not move. So if it is water, you imagine water. I want to use water today as an example. So we were told there's water that has arrived at Runda. Every day we are told, 140 million gallons or whatever number is it. But then when you go on the tap, people are still complaining. But when you are all over, people are selling water. And you are wondering. So if this one has water and is able to sell, what happened to tap number 2 and 3 and 4? So who has closed it? It is just a guy of Nairobi Water, I'm sorry to say.
So they have the tankers and then there's...
Yeah, they have decided now, here I have a system, this system must work this way. And every month we have what we need to collect. So whether you scream, they know, Kenyans, we can scream and do everything, but we are very patient also. Then if yours is okay, comfortable, you're okay. You know that is us? Yeah. But then, these counties... As Bishop says, even me, I was shocked that where we thought we were going to rectify the mistakes we did from independence is where it is worse. And they are the ones who have the highest amounts, not just on the monies we give them. They will get monies because of the index of poverty. They will get monies of affirmative action. They will get monies, I don't know of what. All the NGOs shall be there. But nothing changes. The life of the people, when you look at them, you feel disappointed and wonder why we are sending money there.
We've all seen the water bowsers, Lachi. Are you saying that there's enough water for everyone in Nairobi?
There's enough in Nairobi for now.
So
and you need to bring the PS of water here to explain now to Nairobians, because he has brought water and it has arrived in Nairobi. It is somewhere. The county now needs to help us on this. And I'm not saying county, we have an institution, Nairobi Water. Now, I know engineer does his best, but I've told you there is a web a good web that works down here.
So they deliberately stop the water flow so that the water bowsers sell water to the people.
Ask yourself, Trevor, why can't we have tokens for our water? So that you pay what you spend. So that if water doesn't come in on Thursday, on Friday, that Kenyan has to now get money to buy. So why can Nairobi Water change our meters to tokenism? We pay token the way you pay token for power. If we are paying it on power, what is wrong on it on paying on water? Because they know you will now have opened the best way of doing things, and they will not have money. Because you, when you get your token, you go, take your water, put in your tank, and you close.
Okay.
Yeah, but because every month you get a meter, every month you're given a bill of water, water that you haven't seen for 2 months, 3 months. Why?
Okay. Osido, you've been dealing with the counties for a long time. What is the issue here when it comes to corruption? Is it that our systems are weak, or what is the problem?
Trevor, our systems are very strong. The challenge we have as the Bishop and my good friend, former Speaker, whom we worked very well with in Nairobi County, have mentioned trust and attitude. But what we see every day is largely weak accountability systems. For example, if you listen to these experiences, they are not pleasing, and in fact, they dent the spirit of devolution. And that is not what Kenyans expected 13 years down the line. And when you listen to stories of success from the counties, and we see them. In fact, I was sharing with you last week a report we did in December last year. And this report confirms that part of the counties, because we have 14 counties, and my closer panelists can read the name of the county here. I will not mention. It comes from northern Kenya. And their experiences are true. That the scores that this study unveiled truly show what is happening. Now, what is wrong with weak accountability? Kenyans do not have a recourse mechanism. And I'm sure even as they listen to us and they watch us, they are asking, sasa mheshimiwa Elachi, so what? Sasa mimi Mkenya tu, wewe ndio mheshimiwa wa Dagoretti, umekuwa senator, umekuwa speaker. Na hiyo hadhi yako yote, now me, what will I do? Yeah, what should I do? So you just circumvent, you play in. Kama hakuna maji, you go and buy. And you see the costs of those liters of water. 20-liter jerrycan in Nairobi is not cheap. It's extremely costly. So, Trevor, we must establish mechanisms for complaints, which is lacking. And I don't know what EACC is seeing. And these complaints mechanisms need to be put in a manner that they address our accountability. So that beyond the toll-free, I mean the token system, can we have Nairobi Water giving us a line that we can call if there is no water before I go and buy? Can I talk to someone to explain why there is no water for 2 weeks, 3 weeks in a month? Can I get a place I can send my complaint and say, the people came here and I owe them 4,000, for example. I was willing to negotiate and pay 2,000, and they asked me for 4,000, and I didn't give them, and then they shut down the water. Can we get mechanisms where people can be able to complain so that these complaints are addressed, and that when they are actually showed or put up, every month, the institutions of governance or these agencies need to share what they see Kenyans saying. Trevor, in this report, some of the counties that we visited, in their websites, for example, they have lines that they say in case of a complaint, you call. And we made certain calls to those lines. In one county, they have 2 lines, a Safaricom line and an Airtel line. The Airtel line is perennially off. So when we reached out to the governor, who attached us to a chief officer, who interestingly is now in charge of service delivery for that particular county, and we had a meeting to share and disseminate our findings, we were told that the Airtel line is only put on during procurement processes. So that if there is no procurement for the county, you shut it down. So we waited until when we saw an advert for some. And we tried making calls to that line. That line is perennially off. So there are counties, Trevor, that are trying to do the right thing because they are interested in doing the right thing. And the governors know that failure to do the right thing will not get you the next re-election. But globally speaking, we must put in place strong accountability mechanisms at that level because the laws are there.
Okay.
The laws are there, whether they work or not, the bishop and all of us know. But from the right holders, when there are concerns around roads, who do you talk to? Because they'll tell you the chief officer, the director roads is so far away. Even the number, Mimi Sina. But can we have a mechanism where, and then number two is to focus on, once these cases have already been addressed, reported, there are gross cases which get to the EACC. But internally within the counties, I know that most counties now have even what is called internal audit and complaints redress mechanisms. But if you look at some of the issues that are brought to the internal audit committee, both for the county assemblies and even for the executive arm, the manner in which the redress is happening doesn't boost public trust. So a case that was reported in the former regime is still alive up to now. Why should that kind of a thing be happening? And if you even look at some of the cases that EACC is following, there are cases that is at 2017. And so when we talk to the officers who sit in the internal audit committees, both for the county assemblies and even for the executive arms, there is some sense in which there is fear. And people are afraid to report and say, Your Excellency, Mheshimiwa Governor, it is so and so who did this thing. Because they don't know the kind of action. You can either be attacked, threatened, beaten up, or even your house burnt down. If you have seen county offices being burnt when there are serious concerns raised, how about individual houses? So there is a lot of fear that I think we need to set up a foundation, if not an opportunity for Kenyans to feel free to report corruption, and that when they are reported, action needs to be done and to be seen to be done.
Okay, Dr. Mola, how do we strengthen this accountability when it comes to corruption fighting?
Yes, I've listened to my panelists here, and I agree largely with what they have indicated. For example, when we say that there are people who discovered that there are no systems and proper systems and structures in the counties, and therefore they rushed there, and they were able to make money because the systems and structures were not properly developed. One solution probably is, which I've seen, is the national government, for example, has indicated that we should have e-procurement processes. I think this is one of the things probably we should implement in the counties and have an e-procurement process supported by a blockchain-based technology. And then something else we need to do is to come up with systems that protect employees or laws that protect employees. If you look at the manner in which the county government acts, for example, is structured from the perspective of disciplinary issues. If, for example, you go to a governor and report that I believe that so-and-so or this particular matter is fraudulent, at that particular stage, you don't know whether or not the governor himself is already involved in the scam. Okay?
In the particular one you're reporting.
In the particular one you're reporting. So the moment you report it,
he's the owner.
He is the owner. You are sent on compulsory leave immediately because you are obstructing. The eating. And then they can take you to their own county public service board for some alleged disciplinary action. Again, the board is filled by his relatives. Okay? So you have a system where the people have been so much intimidated by the one-man show kind of rule by the governors that the system is broken. It cannot work. So unless we find a way in which we can probably hold the governors accountable from, say, a standards perspective. For example, standards is a national government function. Okay? So the national government need to impose these particular standards on the counties and possibly take action against governors who do not maintain these particular standards. For example, in healthcare, you go to a particular county and you find a small dispensary has been labeled as a referral hospital. The aim is to attract certain donor funds. Okay? But it doesn't meet the standards of a referral hospital. So, in my view, from a standards perspective and also through digitalization, we may be able to reduce the level of corruption and also amend some particular laws to protect whistleblowers, give county employees access, for example, to the courts in case a governor tries to remove you from office. Because the way the law is structured now is such that you must go through a chain. For example, they say that you must appear before the board that is filled by the governor's relatives. And then if you if they rule against you, go to the Public Service Commission at the national level. And if you are dissatisfied there, then now you can access the High Court.
Yeah.
So the whole system works against employees, and they cannot make independent decisions.
Okay.
So those are some of the things we need to rectify at the county level to bring down the levels of corruption.
Yes. Okay. Bishop, what is the most frustrating obstacle when it comes to fighting corruption, having been at the helm?
Very interesting question. Interestingly, for me, I think it's the law.
The law is not working for us.
The legal framework, as an ordinary observer and one who works in that field, our legal framework is not designed to fight corruption. It's designed to protect those who are corrupt or suspected to be corrupt. And it has been alluded to by those who are here, in the sense that if, for example, ESCC were to get a report, like the ones you're getting that people can report, and then we go in and investigate to find out if indeed this allegation may be true, to get that person through the legal system to finally pay for their actions is a whole system that is defending the person who is accused rather than the people who have been defrauded. Say, for example, in our neighboring countries, if you are arrested for alleged corruption and you are taken to court, at the first level, if you are found guilty by the first court you are taken to, from there on, first you have to be out of office. If you appeal, you are appealing from outside because you are already guilty. It is up to you to prove your innocence. In our system, you are innocent all the way to Supreme Court. So even though you have been found guilty by a lower court, you appeal, and while you appeal, you remain in office, and you continue to eat. You know? So we have tried to advocate for the framework to be changed so that it reduces corruption. It makes corruption not beneficial. But the law, from where I sit, is a challenge. The second one is what we have talked about, where there is so much connection, and especially political. The political shielding of people who are found to be corrupt is a big challenge. We have had situations where we go and arrest an individual, particularly senior people, members of parliament, governors, senators, those people who deal with big big corruption and big money. You'll find that even the day they are coming to record a statement, our offices are invaded by crowds led by their party leaders. You know? So you find the party leaders are the ones who are saying how their man is being persecuted.
Yeah.
The EACC has been weaponized. And by the way, that weaponization is both sides. If it is a person who is in government, they say the opposition has infiltrated EACC and now is using to frustrate the efforts of government. If it is on the other side, it is the government that is now using EACC to fight their people. So politicization of corruption is another big challenge. So that there is no person that we have ever arrested or investigated who is ever guilty on their own for what they are accused of. It is always a party issue. It is, if it is not party, it is a tribal issue. Our person is we are being finished, you know. And we saw that recently. You saw what happened in Bungoma, where EACC vehicles were destroyed by people from around. You know, they don't want EACC there. So those kinds of things really hamper our work. Because if Kenyans were to rally behind what we are doing, because we are not here to play politics, we are here to help Kenyans to enjoy a better life through the finances that have been taken from them, and now it's to be used to improve their livelihood.
But EACC has also been accused of settling political scores, especially because of your timing. Some people say that you arrest certain people after they've spoken against the government and not before.
Let me tell you, Trevor, by the time we are arresting you, there's a lot of work that has taken place behind the scenes. We don't just wake up today and come to your house. We don't do that. So we will have done our intelligence. First, we have had perhaps a report, either from the Auditor General or from an